Yeah, it's sort of painting and drawing is something I've always done. I always did it as a kid. It was my thing, I would say, definitely. You know, in my free time, and I was always really good in art class, and I did it at college, and then I did it at university. And I'd say it's only the last 2.5 years that I've really started to take it, you know, super seriously. I've come to terms with the fact that it is what I want to do. Whether it's all I want to do is still up in the air, but it's definitely like going to be a part of my journey going forwards. I know that the way that I kind of connect with the universe is through my art, definitely. You know, when I'm not, when I'm really in the zone, I'm not thinking of much. You know, for me, it's kind of therapeutic, meditative. People call it flow state these days, don't they? But I think has some truth to it. There's some days I come in the studio and I'm just painting for hours and hours, and it feels like no time at all has passed. And all that kind of wraps up is, I suppose, like why I love doing what I'm doing. It's kind of knowing that, as well as it being a very frustrating place at times, the studio, it is that very peaceful sanctuary where I can find peace. I can find quiet from my head. You know, I have a very noisy head a lot of the time, and I find that when it's going well, the painting process, I don't have any noise in my head whatsoever. Yeah, I think you need to be in the studio for magic to happen. You know, necessarily you need to be here most days. A lot of the themes in the collection are, to me, about those quiet spaces where individuals again connect to whatever it is up there. You know, we talked about the universe, and people call it God, and people call it, you know, divine inspiration or the muse or whatever it might be. It's not for me to say, but yeah, it's a sacred space, isn't it? You know, and it does have sort of religious connotations for me, definitely. And I think that this is a sacred space for me, for sure. The way that I thought about music for this collection was not, I mean, I do listen to music when I paint, you know, that not always, but often. But I think the way that I was thinking about music was, I was trying to think about how other people who've spent years learning how to do something, e.g. play the piano, or, you know, to dance or to act in the theatre, because these themes also come up in the collection. I was really thinking about how other people access this kind of, you know, spiritual side of themselves through their chosen creative medium.
How do you feel about the space that the work's now in?
Yeah, it's really exciting because I'm normally used to exhibiting in your traditional galleries. It's not a venue I would have thought about exhibiting at in the first place, to be honest with you. And it seems very fitting because, you know, it's a space that already has a lot of character, a lot of creative energy. They have some beautiful instruments in there, which in their own right, you know, you don't even need to be playing them to appreciate them. The craftsmanship is quality. Yeah, I mean, this event is the beginning of a new chapter for me, I would say. We've put a lot of effort into curating an event that isn't just visual art, but we've got 2 great musicians playing. I'm going to be talking about the collection as well. And me as an artist now, I'm thinking more outside of that painting box about how the event can be a piece of art in itself. And that is exciting for me. It's a new direction, but I'm hoping that people can appreciate and thoroughly enjoy the evening because of everything that's going on. Yeah, firstly, thank you everyone for being here, obviously. I'm super grateful. I'm also feeling really overwhelmed as well because there are so many faces looking at me. To be honest, right, so the goal of this speech and of the evening is I want to give everyone permission to feel something, you know, I want people to be able to connect to the work, connect with each other, and connect to yourself through the art and through the music that we're hearing tonight. Art I think, is a necessity. I think we really turn to art in times of loss, in times of love, in times of transition, you know, from one stage of life to another. The reality is that Monday to Friday can be very mundane and flat and not much seems to happen, but if you think about your own lives and when anything serious, whether it's good or bad, happens, art and creativity is often at the centre of these moments. Thanks everyone. Go and enjoy your night.
Okay, so thinking back to the atmosphere of the Silent Aria opening night, what was the prevailing feeling or energy sense from the visitors?
Excitement, I suppose. I feel like everyone I spoke to expressed how much they enjoyed the event, how exciting it was, how different it was, I think, for the local area as well. I think a lot of people perhaps weren't expecting what it is we got up to exactly. Personal takeaways would be, that I've got big visions and I think that they are achievable. Again, it's kind of like, you know, we've touched on it before, it's about that broadening of like what I want to do with my ideas. I think going forwards, it's not going to be limited to painting now, it's going to be spoken word and talking, and you know, I'm really kind of thinking outside of my own little box now and expanding that out to the future, I suppose. I think I've been surprised by how much I've enjoyed collaborating, and it's not been leading as such, but it's been like, you know, everything's kind of come under my umbrella, but it's been really nice just to work with people, you know, from the shop itself to all the volunteers who helped and all the other people who've been involved in the project. Really, it's been great, and it's given me a lot to think about going forwards. I'd love to continue working in that way, you know, ambitiously with a larger team.
There have been dark days, light days, bright days. Some days have been bruised and abusive, and others gentle and conducive to my growth as an artist, as a man, and as a unique and individual soul. And here I am sat at my desk wondering exactly what will happen next. Thanks. Woo!